pleasure in hills. The wise are active. The virtuous are tranquil. The wise are joyful. The virtuous are long-lived. Coincides with Gorilla Mountain, right?
Yes, tell us more, Bird Dog.
22, the master said. She, by one change, would come to the state of Lulu. By one change would come to a state where true principles predominated. 23, the master said, a concerned vessel without corners, a cornered vessel without corners. A strange cornered vessel. A strange cornered vessel. Me no understand. What does it mean? Oh, it's a monkey barrel. Well, 24. Wait, we'll go to 25. The master said, the superior man, extensively studying all learning and keeping himself under the restraint of the rules of propriety, may thus likewise not overstep what is right. 27. The master having visited Nancy was displeased, which the master
Stacy Lou? Who was that? Stacy Lou who?
Stacy Lou who? The master was swore, saying, wherein I have done improperly, may heaven reject me, may heaven reject me.
My goodness.
27. The master said, perfect is the virtue which is according to the constant mean. Rare for a long time has been its practice among the people. Yep.
What he's saying is that he thinks his own people are a bunch of shitheels. They don't have the guts and the balls and the fucking integrity to do it.
No. So some things never change, I guess, right?
Truly. It has
Let's
been...
see what number 1 is, since I started.
Number 1 is P.
The master said, there is young. He might occupy the place of the prince. Chong Kong asked, Zizang Botsis, master said, he may pass. He does not mind small matters. Chong Kong said, if a man cherish in himself a reverential feeling of the necessity of attention to business, though he may be easy in small matters in his government of the people, that may be allowed. But if he cherish in himself that easy feeling and also carry it out in his practice, is not such an easy mode of procedure excessive. The master said, Young's words are right.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. What are they talking about?
They are talking lots of bullshit.
Yeah, too much stuff.
Too much bullshit. Excuse me. That was some bullshit too. Let's ride horses into the town.
Like the Mongols?
Yep. The Khans.
Yeah.
All the great Khans just trotted in on war horses with teeth filed down into points and shit.
Fucking battle axes and swords.
Yep. Ready to fucking kill everything. Yo.
How knowledge ought to be pursued by the careful study of phenomena. Manisha said, All who speak about the natures of things have in fact only their phenomenon to reason from, and the value of phenomenon is in it being natural. What I dislike in your wise men is their boring out their conclusions. Those wise men would only act as you did when he conveyed away the waters. There would be nothing to dislike in their wisdom. The manner in which you conveyed away the waters was by doing what gave him no trouble. And your wise men would also do that which gave them no trouble. Their knowledge would be also great. There does heaven so high, there are stars so distant. If we have investigated their phenomenon, we may, while sitting in our places, go back to the solstice of 1,000 years ago. Very interesting. Read me some from your art of war, young grasshopper.
Ah, yes. It says here, when a country is impoverished by military operation, it is because of transporting supplies to a distant place. Transport supplies to a distant place and the populace will be impoverished.
Oh, like sending it to China?
Yes, Li Quan says troops are raised repeatedly and the levies are heavy. Dumu, Master Guan said, when provisions go for 300 miles, the country is out a year's supplies. When provisions go for 400 miles, the country is out 2 years' supplies. When provisions go for 500 miles, the people perish with hunger. This means that food should not be transported, for if it is, the producers will lose, so they cannot be but impoverished.
Ah, that makes very much sense. Because why move things when you don't need to? It is a waste of the chi.
Master Sun say, when resources are exhausted, then levies are made under pressure. When power and resources are exhausted, then the homeland is drained. The common people are deprived of 70% of their budget, while the government's expenses for equipment amount to 60% of its budget. Dumu says, if the military situation is not resolved and the army is not demobilized, levies become increasingly oppressive, resulting in exhaustion of the resources of the people, so that they lose most of what they produce. The people are the basis of a country. Food is the heaven of the people. Those who rule over others should respect this and be sparing.
But they do not.
The common people provide goods, food, and labor for the use of military, thus losing most of their own sustenance, while the government provides equipment for the use of military, thus losing more than half of its budget. Therefore, taxes are used up, the army is worn out, and the populace is exhausted. When levies are oppressive and the people are impoverished, the country is drained.
Like a nutsack.
Yes. Therefore, a wise general strives to feed off the enemy. Each pound...
Yes, for eat off enemy is like saving so much. I read this part, but go ahead.
Yes, each pound of food taken from the enemy is equivalent to 20 pounds you provide by yourself.
Yeah, I like.
Transportation of provisions itself consumes 20 times the amount transported. It takes 20 pounds of provisions to deliver 1 pound of provisions to a distant army. If the terrain is rugged, it takes out even more than that. That is why an able general will always feed off the enemy. So what kills the enemy is anger. What gets the enemy's goods is reward. If you stir up your officers and troops so that they are all enraged, then they will kill the enemy. If you reward your men with spoils, that will make them fight on their own initiative so the enemy's goods can be taken. That will make them fight on their own initiative so the enemy's goods can be taken. That is why it is said that where there are big rewards, there are valiant men. If people know they will be richly rewarded if they overcome the opponent, then they will gradually grow into battle. Grow into battle? This just means establishing rich rewards. If you let the troops plunder at will, they may get out of hand. Master Sun has said, invincibility is in oneself. Vulnerability is in the opponent. Keeping your own military in order, always being prepared for opposition, erase your tracks and hide your form, making yourself inscrutable to opponents. When you see that an opponent can be taken advantage of, then you emerge to attack.
Ah, yes.
Invincibility is a matter of self-defense. Vulnerability is simply a matter of having gaps. Therefore, skillful warriors are able to be invincible, but they cannot cause opponents to be vulnerable. If opponents have no formation to find out, no gap or slack to take advantage of, how can you overcome them, even if you are well equipped? If you hide your form, conceal your tracks, and always remain strictly prepared, then you can be invulnerable yourself. If the forms of strength and weakness of opponents are not outwardly manifest, then how can you be assured of victory over them? That is why it is said that victory can be discerned but not manufactured. You can only know if your own strength is sufficient to overcome an opponent. You cannot force the opponent to strike off to your advantage. Victory cannot be known, it's up to you, meaning that you are prepared. The victory that cannot be manufactured is up to the opponent, meaning that the opponent has no form.
Ah, yes.
Invincibility is a matter of defense. Vulnerability is a matter of attack. For an invincible defense, conceal your form. When opponents attack you, then they are vulnerable. You have got to be kidding me. We are in the submarine, folks. You know what that means.